Good day, everyone. My name is Noor Lastika Sari. I'm here on behalf of my co-authors to present our paper titled COVID-19 and the Local Tradition of the People of North Maluku. So here is the outline of my presentation today, and we could just get to the introduction part. History repeats itself. It is actually something that you would hear or read whenever someone wants to make a statement about how today's occurrences had actually or already happened in the past. History does repeat, however, not by itself, but by certain measurements. So how often could it go? Years, decades, or even centuries? Well, as an example, dealing with pandemic has never been a new issue. Just like if we wanted to discuss about how humanity deals with war and aggression. So basically, mankind is not a stranger to these challenges of life. Antonio Galvao wrote that a respiratory disease had broken out in Ternate around 1553, while Francois Valentine recorded a plague attacking a human respiratory system in Makian in 1646. It was due to a volcanic eruption, though. At last, Aves A. de Klerk also mentioned about a deadly plague in Bachan throughout 1706 to 1709. Traditionally, these issues were treated as a result of badly conducted supernatural rituals caused by evil spirits seeking revenge toward those who had devoured the land. They opted for herbal treatments, potions, exorcisms, and even migrated to hinterland. Most of all, resulted in inconclusiveness. Therefore, we had addressed our research question. First is, how far would cultural aspect affect the economic and social life of the locals? And second is, in what domain should tradition and local practices contribute to the current situation? And here is the methods of our research. Started from the curiosity toward the oral tradition existing in all around the North Maluku provinces, which later combined with the technique of analyzing oral history gathered through a series of interviews of the locals. This research also combines historical and anthropological aspects, along with archival and oral tradition studies. So what do we have today? Today, we have COVID-19, which has become a global pandemic declared in mid-March 2020 by Indonesian government and has reached the islands of North Maluku Province a few months after that. Ternate is among the red zones of COVID-19 outbreak. However, there has been a resolution generated locally by the regional government to prevent further spread and infection, which facilitate another traditionally crafted effort, such as Lilian, Barifola, and Rera, all of which are volunteering activities of emergency situation. Lilian is a group of women who volunteer to provide domestic needs, while Barifola is the people who cares for infrastructural works, such as house repair and road work, while Rera is an act of solidarity to care for those who got infected or affected by the virus. These traditional practices come from the Dora Bololo, an oral tradition of the people of North Maluku that encouraged the people to face the problem altogether, just like a pair of nutmeg and maize that grows and withers together with passion and affection. Other than that, they also have the concept of kadara and kalau, originated from the traditional ideology of economic sustainability of the people of South Halmahera. It is the way of the people in the surrounding area of Ternate to alternate making living between the land and the sea, as well as to implement a rather preemptive strategy to secure their livelihood. They created a network of surrounding islands in Ternate to maintain a good act of prevention from the COVID-19, of course, and preservation of economic activities to eventually carry a more stable living out amid the unfortunate and inevitable situation. Then we are reaching conclusion. This research purpose, as I have mentioned before, is to find attributions of how history, anthropology, as well as archival and oral tradition study could understand the living aspect of the locals. And collective memories are the key to the research to delve deeper into the existing local tradition and practices. After all, tradition is a part of habitus, a concept Pierre Bourdieu introduced to define a deep structure generative of all thoughts and behaviors. At last, we could see how the people of the surrounding island of Ternate could generate or establish an alternative trade and shipping network to keep the economic activities going. Such finding is quite important as we started to see how they managed to be less dependent to Ternate as the main hub for various activities in the region. So I think that's all of my presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention. We hope we could get lots of comments and questions to better our study here.